Hi, and welcome to this episode of our Market Update series. I'm Will Harding, Manager of Global Marketing for Destination Canada. And we're here on RBC TV, where we talk to international experts to provide sellers like yourself with valuable insights that you can use to drive your business. We are here today all the way in Europe with Sandra Tikel, our Managing Director of France. Sandra, welcome to the show.
Bonjour, Will, and thank you for having me today.
A big bonjour to you, too. We are going to launch into it with some questions today. What are three key things that RVC sellers need to know when they come to RVC?
I think number one is that Canada continues to be a dream destination for the French. We had our record year in 2015 with more than 500,000 French people that visited our country. Everything in 2016 points to it being another record year. The January sales in the travel agencies reported an increase of 17% over January of last year, and February an increase of 7%. This combined with the fact that we have great air capacity. We know that Montreal is our biggest hub. However, the opening of new routes, Paris, Vancouver, and Paris, Halifax, are great vectors for promoting repeat visitation. So that would be the number one thing, is that the French market is resilient, and let's not ignore it. Tour operators that did not program Canada in the past are doing so now because of the losses incurred in geopolitical sensitive countries. Travel agencies, and the last point that I would like to make is that travel agencies are not on the decline. They remain extremely important, as the new trend in France is very much web to store, meaning that online agencies are now creating physical walk-in stores, and tour operators via their internet sites are sending the consumers to the store to close the sale.
Oh, okay, so those are actually some pretty good things to note. I'm going to jump ahead one question here. You're bringing a large delegation of French tour operators to Canada for Rendezvous this year in Montreal. They must be excited about coming to a French province in Canada. What can you tell us about some of the buyers that you're bringing to Rendezvous this year?
Okay, we are bringing a great delegation of 12 tour operators, of which 3 are totally new to Rendezvous Canada, 9 are repeat, and the 3 that are new are, one is Macadam Spirit, that never programmed Canada in the past. Another one is Marco Vasco, which is an online agency that has programmed Canada for quite a number of years. And the third one is Pometour. Pometour is specialized in group travel, and more specifically with social committees. As you know, in France, when you have a company of more than 50 employees, you contribute, the employer contributes 1% of the wages to the social committee. And these wages are utilized to create trips for the employees as well as language camps. And as a matter of fact, we are finding a trend. In 1996, which was our record year prior to 2015, many social committees had decided or chosen Canada as a destination. Following that, they chose other destinations that were opening up, such as countries in Asia. And we are seeing the cycle back after 20 years. In 2016, it's very trendy now for these social committees to come back to Canada.
Well, it's certainly nice to see French consumers flocking back to Canada, given our common lineage. What are some of the business objectives, do you think, of some of these new companies that are coming?
Their objective is definitely to identify products that will enable them to differentiate themselves from other tour operators. They need to create new offers that are competitive and attractive to the French consumer.
Well, a dozen tour operators, I'm sure there's going to be lots of interest amongst sellers. What experiences are these tour operators going to be looking for to buy?
They're looking at experiences that will add value and intrigue, such as unusual accommodation that can range from an ice hotel to a tent to a treehouse to a remote accommodation. They're looking for off-the-beaten-track activities that will bring people closer to nature and wildlife, in addition to connecting with locals, which remains a key factor in the French traveler going to Canada.
Are there new parts of our country that they're looking to explore?
Definitely, they're looking more into Western and Eastern Canada. As I mentioned, the new air access that we have. So they are going beyond the province of Quebec. The province of Quebec, very much so, Ontario, Quebec, is our basic product, we'll say. It's the introduction to Canada. And once the French consumer has done that, he will come back in Western or Eastern Canada. We are considered to be a safe and secure destination and a repeat visit and a repeat destination, which enables us to keep the consumer coming year after year.
Well, lots of reasons for sellers to talk to French tour operators. Before we wrap it up here, Sandra, what advice would you like to leave for our sellers? Do you think it's critical for them in order to nail that important sale?
I think what's really important is the research has to be done first, that the seller has to have the product that matches what the tour operator is looking for, and that's all done prior to the appointment taking. And then at the appointment taking, it's got to be a win-win, whereby the seller works with the buyer to see how they can have the buyer's product evolve and how the specific experiences that the seller has to propose can fit and can differentiate the product for that specific tour operator. And it's important that they are in a position to offer different products to different tour operators.
Well, we've been experiencing French culture here in Canada for so many years. It's easy sometimes to feel like the French, we know them simply because of Quebec and our other French parts of our country. But you know, there are some significant differences. Is there anything that comes to mind that a seller should be aware of in terms of French culture and what they would need to know in order to have a really great appointment or a really good business meeting?
Well, I think it's bringing out the culture of the specific experience, because the French are very much in tune to culture. Living an experience, they have to do it from beginning to end, and they have to come back telling a story. A French person has to come back from his vacation with a story to tell. Not just, I laid on a beach for a week, but I met the lobster fisherman, and wow, what an experience to go fishing and bring up my own lobster. Or we went in a float plane, and what an experience that was to land right into the gardens or land right at the vineyard. So I think the important thing is that they need to learn something during their vacation, so a seller needs to bring that forth, that what experience will the French person be able to come back and talk about.
Well, this has all been really, really great information, Sandra. I know it's late on a Friday for you, but always dedicated to Canada, you and your team. So thank you so much for spending time with us today. For everybody else that's been following here on the RBC TV episodes, if you want more information on our different markets, including the France market, as Sandra pointed out, you can visit www.canada.travel/corporate. And don't forget to check the RBC website for more valuable content. Thank you so much, Sandra. Have a great night.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.